Hello everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to learn about how we can break down the components in React, how we should think while making components, building components in React when we are designing a complex or big application, then how we can slowly break down the components into smaller components, and we can make it reusable as well. And so to let's go and explore how we can achieve these things in React. So as you can see here, you can see a UI. This is a simple UI, not that much big application. Just to explain you guys how we should think while making applications in React or components as well. You can consider. Okay. So today is like Sunday, and I'm recording this video in the afternoon. So let's begin. So this is a you component, you can say. This is the search bar here, and it's written search here, a button kind of. And then this is the list of superheroes and their nemesis. Nemesis means enemies. Okay. So this card contains the name of superheroes. Okay, and this card contains the name of supervillains. So this is the UI that we want to make. But how we should approach in this in React? So we will break these things down. Okay. So the UI should be broken down into smaller components that should look like this. First, it will contain a main component. Okay. Inside which there will be a search component. You can see this search component. Okay. Then there would be a list component that would be displaying the names of superheroes and supervillains. Okay. And then you can see the list of superheroes. This is the title of that component. Then inside this component, two more components are there. One is containing superheroes, then the other card is containing supervillains. So we can say this superhero component, then supervillain components. Okay. Now after that, within this component, there are small components like the name of a single superhero, which we can call hero components. Okay. And same like this, yeah, the villain components as well, a single villain component. So this is how we can slowly broke down the UI into smaller pieces in React, and now we will see how we can implement this UI using the codes. Okay, so let's move on to that section. So now in order to achieve those things, what we can do? First, we can start building the components from like the smallest component, then going to the biggest components, or we can structure it like from the main component then going towards the like children components. So first we can try both the approaches. Both approaches are good, but when we are designing a very huge application and there is a big team which can like independently work on separate components, then we can start from the smaller components and then go like try assembling everything and then big making the bigger components. Okay, but for this component we will just try to go from the main component then down to the smallest components. Okay, so what we are going to do first, we will make a folder with the name main component. Okay, main component, we will write it. Okay, then inside this we will write main component.jsx. Okay, then we will create a react arrow function component. Okay, like this. Then we will save it here. Okay, then here we will call it main component. Okay, here we call it. Now after making the main component, what we require, let's go and see in our slide, in our picture. I build the main component. Inside this there is a search component. Okay, and there is this one list component. So both are there inside the main component. So first let's make a search component here then. Okay, inside the main component. Now I will make another folder inside this only, so that every children component of this main component should be aligned. Okay, so I will make the search component first, a folder named search component, then inside this search component.jsx. Okay, now rafc, I'm going to do this now. Let's see how is the search component looking. So it has an input field, and there this is search thing is written here. Okay, so we will do what, we will take an input box, and beneath it we will take a button. Let's take a button. Okay, search, so that it can be visible better. Okay, then we will go inside this search component, then we will call this search component. Okay, and we will save it. Now we will go to the UI and see how it is appearing. So it is appearing like this. So it is like there is no margin from the top, so let's give it some margin from top. So I'll be using bootstrap for this. You guys can also, like in, I have already taught in my previous videos, like you can uh, install the bootstrap library, and then you can import this statement like this, and then you can use bootstrap throughout your application. Okay, now let's go, we will go here. So what I'll do is I'll open this console, DevTools I will open. Okay, and after opening the DevTool, I will select this. Okay, let me take some, give some margin from top. How much margin would be good? 4, 5, 4. Yeah, 4 will be fine. Okay, so we will give a margin to this component to itself, M4. Okay, now I will save it. Okay, so now it is appearing like this. Okay, so we can leave it like this is enough, or we can make it like this appear as like this also. It's not a big deal if you want to achieve that also. So if you want to do that, then what we can do, we'll have to just write display block. Okay, now let's see how it is appearing. Okay, it is still not appearing like that. So now what we can do, both are appearing like this. It is already display block, but there is something going on here. Okay, deflex, display flex we can go do, then after display flex we can align the items the way we want. Uh, let's see when will it be aligned the way we want. We can flex wrap, flex direction if we'll give. By giving the flex direction, I think we can achieve this thing. Okay, we can easily achieve using flex direction. What is this column? Okay, but the thing is, like it is appearing already quite good, so I'll leave it as it is. Okay, here is the input box, and here you can easily search it. Okay, after this, what we are going to do now is we will take another component, since this component is over, and now going to the next component which will show the list of superheroes and their nemesis. So we will build a new component. Okay, so we will go again here. Inside this main component, we will take one more folder, list component. Let's name it. Okay, list component. Inside this, I'll make a component list com.jsx. Here, I will create a React template. Okay, now what does it require? It requires a section or a card for superheroes and one card for supervillains. Okay, so inside this, I'll have to render two cards, one for superheroes, then one for supervillains. So let's make superheroes first. Okay, superheroes. Okay, we'll write superheroes heroes.jsx. Okay, RFC. We created this component. Okay, now what it needs, let's go. So it needs the name of these superheroes and this list of superheroes and their nemesis. So let's go here, and here we will take one h1 component, or we can take p, list of superheroes, heroes and their nemesis. Okay, and then I will save it. And what I'm going to do, I will give a class name fs1. Fs means font size. This is a class that I'm using from Bootstrap. Now I'll save it. Now I will go here. Then what I'm going to do, I'll call this list component here. Okay. Now I'll go to the UI. Let's see how it is appearing. So we got this list of superheroes and their nemesis. Okay. So I'll go inside this list component. This is there. Now superheroes card we need to make. Okay. So what we will require inside this superheroes, we first give it a title, super heroes. Okay, then after that what we need to do, after that we need this small cards which will contain the name of the superhero. Okay, then we will this also will this give it a class name like fs3. Okay, 3 or 2, whatever suits best, we'll check. Okay, now we want to render all those superhero names one by one. So we can take a like array of superheroes, superheroes. We can take a array. Okay, then we can put the names of the superheroes: Spider-Man, Superman, Shaktiman, Iron Man, and Thor. Okay, Spider-Man. Then we'll say Superman. Then what it is? Shaktiman. Okay, don't underestimate Shaktiman. Okay, he was the Superman of India. Okay, so that's why I've included him. Then Iron Man. After that, what it is, Thor. Okay, so I'll take Thor as well. Now this thing is done. Okay, now I want to iterate it over this array and I want to show it on the DOM like a card. So what I'm going to do, inside this, I will take again one uh, one folder, heroes. Okay, acha, single. Let's rename it to hero only. Single is it? So hero component. Okay. Now I'll take hero.jsx. Okay. Here I will call RFC React template. Now here what it will contain? It will contain the name of the superhero. Okay. So which I will be getting from here. Okay. Like name I can get, then name of hero hero. Okay. Which I'll be getting from here. Or first just to check, let's call it here. What was the first Spider-Man? Okay. Spider-Man I'll call. Then what I will do? I'll go inside this superheroes. Then I will just call this hero component. Okay. Hero component. Okay. Nice. Let's see how it is appearing. No, we can't see anything. Why? Why we are unable to see anything? Because we haven't called this superhero component here in the list components. So what we are going to do, I will call this here. I'll save it. Now let's go to UI. You can see superheroes appearing, Spider-Man appearing. Okay, nice. So now we'll go inside superhero. Now what we are going to do, we will have to style it a little. So just we will use the Chrome Dev Tools and style it here itself. We'll select this Spider-Man. What we are going to do it, we'll give width 50, no 50, 25, let's see. 25, then margin auto. Okay, now I will take card. Okay, now I will take BG or danger. Okay, then I will do some padding. Not for 2, 2 is enough. um, Font size 1, 2, how much? 3. 3 is good. Then color color property is not there, then we can just write text white. Okay, so now these many classes we applied and we got this. Okay, so just remember these things, we have to use it here inside this. Okay, we'll go here, class name, we did card, text white, then width 25, margin auto bg danger. 25 margin auto bg danger. Am I leaving anything else? Card fs. Okay, fs fs3 and p2. bg danger card fs p2 text white w5. Nice. Let's save it. Then let's refresh it. Yeah, it's looking nice. Okay, why am I going here? Okay, so now what we are going to do, we will take this thing dynamically, this value. So I'll replace this with name of hero. Okay, and let's go to our UI. Nothing is appearing. Why? Because we haven't paused the props. We are not iterating. Now let's go. Hero is there. Now what first we need to do? We'll comment this out. Okay, we will call this superheroes.map. Then what are we going to do? Name. Then we will take index. And oh, we can just return this hero component from here. Not a big deal. Okay, we can do this as well. Okay, inside this hero component, what we need to do? Name of hero. it is accepting, then name will pass. And one more thing that we are missing out, that is key. Okay, every time we need to pass this key because this key helps this map function to locate that particular, you can say, that particular content inside the map, and it helps us in manipulating, updating, deleting, and doing various operations on that particular index. Okay, so key is very important because that is kind of unique thing that helps map to locate that element. Okay, we'll save it. Now we'll go here and you can see everything is appearing. Okay, what more one thing we can do? Can we give it some margin like margin bottom? Where am I right now? I'm at superhero. No, I want to be here. Here I want to give some margin bottom. Let's see. 2 is good. 2 is margin 2 is good. So what I'm going to do here, let's include one more thing, margin bottom, that is 2, and we'll save it. Now it is appearing much better. Now I'll close this out so that you guys can see it properly. Okay, now it is appearing quite good. Now what we can do is we can go here and we can decrease this padding to 1 itself because it is like very much big, and this fs to like 5 we can say. Let's see how it will appear. Now it is fine. Okay, good. Now we can go into our superhero thing. So superhero fs2 is there. Font weight also we will go give it bold. Okay, now it will appear bolder. Okay, this one we got superheroes we got. Now what do we want super villains. Super villains we want. So let's go here. Inside superhero note, inside list component, we will make one more super villains. Then we will create a super villains .jsx file. I will take this RAFC, and we can get here the things required. So what we require here is what we actually require here. Let's see here. The same, this component also looking the same, this component is also looking the same, right? So why we need to create a new component? It doesn't make any sense, right? We are using React, so we should not do this. Instead, what we are going to do, we will use this component itself, super hero component that we made. Okay, let's see how we can achieve it. Hmm, this component we get inside, but the thing is the arrays that is here, okay, and the array that I want are both different. This one is superheroes, those are super villains. So first let's me make it. Okay, then we will try to slowly try to reuse the components. Okay, then you guys will also get some clarity how we can minimize like uh, repetition of codes, right? So class name fs3 font weight bold. Okay, now after that what we are going to do, hmm, what was written here, super villains. Okay, super villains, super villains. Okay, now this is good. Now here what we are going to do, we will take one array const super Villains. Okay, this array. What will be taking it? Okay, so super villains first. Green Goblin. Green Goblin. After that, what we are going to do? Doomsday. That is a very strong villain and is a nemesis of Superman. Then our favorite Tamaraj Kilvish. I think most of you guys from 90s or 2000s can easily remember Kilvish. Okay, there is Thanos. Uh, good. Now there is Loki. Loki for Thor, Thanos for. Oh, what was that? Let me check once. Thanos for Iron Man. Okay, nice. Now, Green Goblin, Doomsday, Raj Kilvish, Thanos, Loki. Then what we are going to do? Uh, uh, we are going to mm, the same thing iteration. We will take one single villain component now inside this villain, and inside this we'll make a JSX component villain.jsx. Now I'll say RAFC. Good. Now whatever the same things that I did in hero component, the same I will just copy paste here. The same, just it will be BG success. Okay, nice. Now here I will take green goblin first. Okay, green goblin. He was also very scary. Uh, then villain component I will call here. Okay, now I'll save here. Now let's go to our UI and see how it is appearing. Nothing is appearing. Why nothing is appearing? Again, the same issue because we haven't called our super villains component here. See, now it will appear. Yeah, super villains also got now appearing. Now there is a array. What we are going to do? We will take one prop here. What will be the name? Name of villain. Okay, then we'll pass it here. Name of villain. Okay, we'll save. Then we'll go here inside this. Now here we will iterate over this array supervillains dot map. Okay, name where we will take, then idx, same iteration. Here we will call villain. Okay, this is done. There is no need for this. Remove it. Now what we are going to do? First we will take key. What we will do? Name. Then what we are going to do here is we will take this name of villain and inside this we'll pass the name. Now we'll save it. Now we'll go here. Let's see what happens. Now everything is appearing. Okay. Just one thing that is making it different. It is appearing like a card. So let's give it some styling as well so that it can look like a card. Okay, just give it card. That's all we need to do. Same for this as well. Last name card. Now it's good. It's looking burgundy now. Okay, we can give it some margin like 2 so that there will be some space between these two, but there is no space I have got because I gave margin on the wrong element, wrong component. I should give it here. Okay, empty 2. Okay, now you will see some gap. Okay, gap is appearing now. Both we have almost finished our UI. You can compare like this search element, this list of superheroes, and inside this these things. Okay, but here we like implemented everything, right? It is looking, but are we really using the concept of like React? Why React is so famous? Because it should work on single like dry principle. Do not repeat the code. Okay, your code. So do not repeat yourself. You can say. So are we following this? This component supervillains is the same as this superheroes component, right? Same things. This is also doing. Just taking this array. Okay, same thing. This hero component as well doing the same thing as this villain component. Same, nothing is different, just this some styling is different and names are different, right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to optimize our code. You can say how we are going to do that. So let's say first this array is private to this superhero component only. Then this supervillains array is private to this component only. First we need to move up this states. Okay, how we can do that? We can do it by passing this arrays into the parent component like list. As you know, the we can easily use props to pass the data from parent component to child component, right? Using props. So let's use this thing. I'll just copy this and this as well. I'll remove it and I will pass it here itself. Okay, nice. I'll just kind of prettify the codes. Now it is good. Now what we can do? We can pass it separately like here. What we are going to name it? Super. Let's array name of name of um, names. We can just write names. Okay. As a props, we will write names array. You can say. Okay. Now we will. This is superhero, so we will pass here superhero thing. Okay. Now this is supervillains. In supervillains, we will pass the superhero thing. Names array. Okay. This supervillains. Okay. Now what we are going to do inside superheroes will come superheroes. Okay. Inside superhero component will go, but it is taking me here. So I'll go using some orthodox docs technique. Okay. Now there is some error it is throwing. Why? Supervillains is not defined. It's not defined. Really, let's see. Supervillains it is here. Then it is supervillains here. What is the big deal? Oh, what happened? Okay, here I removed it. That's why. So first let's come to this one. I will remove this thing. It's not required anymore. Here I will pass names array as we were using this prop to pass this array superhero array. So we will use the same here. Okay, and we will replace this superheroes with names array. Okay, and let's save it. And the same we will do here as well. We will pass this names array and supervillains we will remove. Okay, now I'll save it. Now we will go to the UI and we will refresh it. So check the render method of list component. Expected a string for build or a class function but got object. Element type is invalid. Expected a string for built in a class for but got an object. Let's see what is the issue. the list component it is saying, let's check out. Create from types, element type is invalid. Okay, what element type is invalid? List component is there, supervillains is there, names array is we are passing, names array we are passing here, then here we are taking names array and we are mapping it. Okay, here also we are taking names array and mapping it. What is the issue coming? It is not an issue, I think. mm, on got for composite component but got object. Check the render method of list component. List component render method. It's saying superheroes. Superheroes. Okay, okay, okay. So this thing and this thing both are matching the same. So let's do something different for this. Yeah, because of that only the error was coming. Okay, now it is fine. The error was showing like this was unable to be rendered because it was trying to render this thing instead of this. Okay, this is component, this is array, so it was trying to render the array itself. Okay, so that is why the error was occurring. Now the error is fixed. Okay, now everything's fine, but we like updated this state, but are we still using it? Because these codes are being repeated, this is also being repeated, right? So instead of this, what we can do, we have this superheroes array thing. What we can do instead of these things, we'll have to rename a lot because we don't require these things. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do, instead of removing all this, I will create a new component. Like you can stay like uh, comics comics character. Okay, because everyone is a comic character. Comics character dot jsx. Okay, rafc we are going to do comics character we took, and what we are going to do, we will just copy this whole thing, then we will paste it here. Just we will rename this to comics character. Is it characters or character only? Okay, nice, we'll save it. Okay, now what we are going to do, this thing we got, but we need a separate this component as well, hero. So inside this again we will take okay, so individual character or character, you can say character folder, then inside this we'll take character dot jsx. Nice, rfc will do, no need of this. Let's just copy paste from one of the individual things. Okay, this one we will copy and this one we will paste here. Okay, now villain is appearing a lot of times. So what we are going to do, we will remove this thing. I will character, and here also we will pass character. Okay, then we will save it. Nice. Now what we are going to do, we will come here. We will remove this hero thing. Then we will call here character, this component here. Then we will save it. Okay. Now instead of passing it as name of hero, what we can pass here, name name of character. Okay, name of character. Okay, it is taking this name. Okay, and here also I'll just go and copy here, then here I will replace it with, I'll save it. Okay, this thing is done. Now we'll go here. Instead of our superheroes and our supervillains, now what I'm going to do, I'll just call this comics character array. Then I will do this and I will just copy paste this thing because it is also doing the same thing. Now we'll go here. Only supervillains is coming, superheroes is coming instead of this. It is taking the value of supervillains. Okay, no issues. First, we need to do this superheroes. Then again, we will copy paste this thing, same component down downwards. Okay, and here we will pass supervillains. Okay, we'll save it. Now see, superheroes is also coming. Superheroes here. The title is always superhero. So what we are going to require, because this is not dynamic, this is fixed right now. Okay, so here we will take one more prop here which will have this title. Okay, this title, what we are going to do, we'll pass it here. Okay, now we will go here. Now we will pass this title will pass, what will pass inside title. Okay, here we'll pass superheroes. Super. Okay, inside string I'll have to take super heroes. Then here we'll pass super villains. Okay, I'll save it. Now let's go. Superheroes, Batman, super villains. This, but there was color coding as well. This was red. This was green. Now this is strange, but will have to dynamically render this this background color as well. So we will go inside this character. So here we need to do this dynamically. So in order to do that, first of all, what we are going to do, we will replace this with backticks, strings with backticks, so that we can use a dynamic. Okay, what happened? Something's wrong here. Let me just check it once. Okay, so I'll just remove this. I'll remove this as well. Backticks I'll take. Okay, because we can't directly take the backticks, first we'll have to take curly braces. Inside that we will have to take backticks. Then we'll paste this. Okay. Now here, what we are going to do, color, we can say it as be background color. Okay. Uh, Background color. Then here we will dynamically render the background color. Okay. Here we will say background color. Okay. Now we'll go here, comics character. Here we will have to send the background color. Background color, how we'll say send, depending on whether it is superheroes or supervillains. So we will pass here one thing, like if title is this, then pass this thing. Title we will refer to. Okay. If title is equal to this, then it should pass something. Then if it is false, then it should pass something. Okay. Now we took this. So if it is true, then we will pass some color. Then if it is false, then we will pass some color. So what are the titles that we are passing here? So superheroes. If it is superheroes, then we need to pass What danger? Okay, if it is villain, then if it is not equal to superhero, then success. Okay, now let's save it. Now let's go on the UI and see. Now as you can see, it is reflecting everything very fine. Okay, now uh, the thing is we can give it here some margin as well, MT2. Okay, so that there would be some gap between these two. Okay, we got the gap as well. Nice, most of the thing we achieved. And now we don't use this superhero components or super villain components, right? So wherever we are using or importing this, we will just uh, remove it. Okay, we will remove this as well here. Okay, and now next what we are going to do, we will delete this whole folder. Now this folder is not needed, and this also we will completely delete it. Okay, because they are just wasting the space. Okay, now I'll save it. Now you can see it is well working fine. Okay, so this is how we can like reduce unnecessary codes, and we can use only one component to if it is doing a specific task, just iterating over the array and rendering this titles, then we can do that. Title also we can pass through props, and it is done. Okay, how is it? Nice. Now what we are going to do now, we will see about the search component. We have implemented the search component, but we are doing nothing. Why? We should do something now with this search component as well. So if we want anything, let's check what is this search component doing as of now. Let's try it. Okay, let's search it. There is nothing it can do because we haven't wrote any functionality, right? We are able to just write. So now what we are going to do is we'll have to write something to filter these things as well. First, we need to write some function so that we can grab the input from here. And once we are clicking on submit, then it can filter out that super villain or superhero. Okay, so let's take one state first, like filter filter name. Okay, and then set filter name. Hmm. Then we'll take a use state empty. Okay, and what we are going to do here, we'll pass this value as filter name. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Okay, so filter name, if I'm writing, then nothing is happening and there is some warning coming here. You provided a value prop to a form field without an on change handler. This will render a read only field. If the field should be mutable, use default value, otherwise set either on change or read only. Okay, so it is saying I have assigned it some value that is empty, and it will be remain empty no matter what I'll type there. So if I want to change the value, then I'll have to apply some function, or otherwise make this thing as read only. So what I'm going to do, I will take a on change event, then I will call handle change. Okay, so what will this handle change will do, it's gonna it is going to grab the input from here. Okay, so set filter name, I'll pass what I'm going to pass, event dot prevent, no, event.target.value bro. Yes, this is what I'm going to pass. Nice. Now let's check out whether everything is working fine or not. So Spider Man I typed and I clicked on search. So I'm able to type now Spider-Man, but searching is still not available. So let's go and give a event here as well on click, which will call handle submit function. So I'll declare a handle submit function as well. Submit function. So what it's gonna do? Mm, it will take the value of this filter name. Okay. Now, first I'll console the filter name here. Okay. Just to be sure that this is only getting printed, I'll just write filter name here. Okay. Now let's see. We'll go here. I'll refresh it. I'll type Spider Man. Then I'll click submit. So Spider Man is appearing. Nice. Now what would be the next step? This thing is useless. So I'll remove it. Okay. So now what should be our next move? So we got these things, but there is one problem still. But filter name we got, but here I don't have any array, right? So where I should mm, send this value to filter out? And this component doesn't have the child list component, and list component has all these values of superheroes, supervillains. Now what to do? So again, mm, first to store this filter name, I'll take one more variable like filter value, set filter value. Okay, now use state. I'll take it empty. Now here I will set this filter value, okay, to filter name. Okay, now again come back to the previous problem that we were facing, we were discussing. So now what we'll have to do, we'll save it, and what we are going to do, we can take these things as props here. Okay, we can take these things as prop, like filter name, whatever is necessary. Filter name we can take, then handle change also we can take as props, handle submit also we can take it as props only. Okay, and we are going to what we are going to upstate these things. Okay, we will remove it from here because these were private to this component. Now we will take it here. Okay, where both these things are present, search component and list component. Okay, now we got this, but search component expects some things. What it is expecting as prop filter name. So filter name, I'll pass it here. Then inside it filter name we can pass filter name. Okay, then it wants a what is it, handle change, handle submit. So what we can do here is we can type on change and on submit. Okay, it is better to declare this thing as on change and on submit, just to be sure whenever using it as a prop. This is a good practice. Okay, on change and on submit, so that on click on submit is being invoked. And here what we are going to do on change, here we will pass handle change. Okay, and on submit, what we are going to do, we will pass uh, handle submit. Okay, so this we have achieved. Now search component is this, filter is being done, on submit is being called, filter name, everything is good. Now let's see whether everything is working fine. Console log, we will check filter name. Okay, then here we'll say filter name. Okay, now we'll save it. Let's see what's going on here. So use state is not defined, use state is not defined. Okay, so we haven't imported use state here. Just use this. Here it got imported. Nice. Then we'll save it. So now use state is not defined. Where? Let's refresh it again. Now it is good. Okay. Now let's see. Spider man, not mana man. Click it. Spider-Man is coming. Main component JSX14. Now it's working fine. Okay. Now set filter value is also setting, but what we need to do, we need to filter out these values. Okay. So what we will do? So let's see. Let's pass this value here inside the list component. Okay. So here filter value, we can pass. Where is the filter value? Here is it. It is. So we'll pass it like this. Okay. We'll save it. Now we'll go inside list component, and here we can get this filter value. Okay. Filter value. Here we can access it. Okay. Now whatever the filter value is, we will try to match in both these things. Okay. And whatever the filter value will be, we will show it in a different color. Okay, filter value, and here also filter value we will pass. Mm, nice. So superhero is array is being fast here. Nice, good. We'll go inside comics character, so we will have to get here as well filter value. Okay, now what we are going to do, we have this character here. So BG color is being shown danger or success using this. Now we need to check this, pass this filter value as well here, so that if it is matching, then we will convert this. We will change the background color of that image. Okay, that character. So now here also I'll take this filter value. Okay, so it is being passed from one parent to another parent, so till now it has reached here. Now BG is this. I am going to give it another one background color, BG, uh, like this. We can say if filter value is equal to filter value is equal to name of character, Okay, then background should become primary. Okay, otherwise otherwise it will be empty. Great. Now let's try and see whether it will work or not. So that depends on list also. So you can see we'll have to type like this. So now I'll type Spider-Man is there. Spider-Man. Now I'll search. Spider-Man got here, but Spider-Man thing didn't change. Why? Filter value is this. Filter value came here. Filter value. All accessed here. In both I passed. Inside character it went. It went here. BG color danger success. That it went inside here. Let's console it here. Filter value, whether it is coming here or not. We have used prompts drilling method to pass this filter value. Okay, now I will refresh it. Now let's see whether it is being passed or not. So the filter values character also I'm getting, but let's change why it is not changing. The color, we'll have to see that. BG danger, BG primary. Okay, BG danger is coming, but BG primary is getting blocked here. Hmm, why it is getting blocked here? Because you can see BG, this is overshadowing BG primary. Okay, that is why it is not appearing. Okay, no issues. BG opacity one. Now let's see how we can resolve this. Because this styling is kind of, let's try by putting it up front. Okay, there was some mistake I think. Okay, from here I'll have to copy paste. Here I can paste. Let's see whether this thing is working or not. Otherwise, we'll take a new approach as well. There are lots of approaches to do a single thing, no issues. Now let's spider man. Now let's search. This is still not changing its value. BG primary is there. BG primary, it is not letting it take. Okay, no issues. We'll try something else. So now BG color is being decided by this. So what we can do is we can take this whole thing here. We can remove it here, no issues. First we will take this thing as primary. Then otherwise BG color or else false. Okay. Mm, There is something wrong. Let me figure this out. This, it is not able to take this BG color. Otherwise, hmm, primary, otherwise BG color, otherwise this. Mm, 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 Otherwise, we can just say to take it empty. Okay, not a big deal. We can just keep it empty. If it is not like this, name of the character is primary, otherwise leave it empty. Otherwise you can like not instead of empty we can take bg color only. Okay, instead of being keeping it empty we can take this. Okay, now it is fine. Now I'll refresh it. Now what I'm going to do, I will type Superman. I'll search, then Superman, you can see it is turning primary. Okay, now let's type about Thanos. We'll search in the other thing as well. Okay, search it. Now you can see Thanos getting in blue color. Now let's search for Loki, then search. You can see Loki is appearing this. So this is how we can accomplish this. So in this video, what we learned a lot of things like how we can break down the UI into smaller components, then how we can reuse the components, and one more thing that we learned in this is props drilling. Let me show you how I am passing the value from the main component. See here, I have taken this name filter value. Then after taking the filter value, I am passing it to list components. Okay, then list component, if I'll go inside, then from here it is taking as props. Then what it is doing, it is passing down to its child here, comic characters. Then if I'll go inside comic characters, you will see that here also it has taken as filter value. Now this comic character is passing it to character. So filter value here. So finally now this character is also using this filter value. So this is called props scaling when we are passing down the data from the parent component to its child, then to its child, to its grandchild, then great grandchild like that. So this is called prompt drilling, and we usually try to avoid this because it can create a lot of issues which we will study in coming mm, videos that I'll cover. And we will also cover about context API and how context API and Redux help us in reducing this prop stealing, the disadvantages that prop stealing has, how context API helps us to reduce that. Okay, so for this video, that's it. Just take care, bye bye, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because it gives me a lot like inspiration to make such good contents for you guys. And if you find it interesting or anything you have any doubt about, you can put it in comments. I'll be happy to help you guys out. Okay. Then bye bye. Take care. See you.